You might not always look at the bride's toes when you're at a wedding, but sometimes there is a fashionable surprise on her feet. From crowns to dresses, these are the unique and hidden something blues at royal weddings. Lady Diana Spencer became the Princess of Wales after marrying the future King Charles III at St Paul's Cathedral in London on July 29, 1981. Her dramatic custom-made gown was adorned with silk bows, puff sleeves, and a 25-foot-long train. It's since gone down in history as one of the most iconic wedding gowns ever. It was even put on display at Kensington Palace in 2022, marking what would have been her and Charles's 40th wedding anniversary. In contrast to the gown, Diana's something blue was quite discreet. She had a small blue bow sewn into the waistband of her dress, and she also included a tiny hidden 18-carat gold horseshoe with diamond studs as a good luck charm. Kate Middleton married Prince William of Wales on April 29, 2011 at Westminster Abbey in London. The bride wore a modest Alexander McQueen gown with a modern ball gown silhouette and beautiful lace sleeves. The train of the dress was also a showstopper, measuring nearly 9 feet long. For Kate's something blue, she kept it sentimental and sweet by honouring her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana. Like Diana, Kate also had a blue ribbon sewn into her dress. However, that wasn't the only something blue that she wore that day. At the reception, Kate changed into a different outfit, which included Diana's iconic oval blue sapphire engagement ring. The 18-carat white gold ring holds a whopping 12-carat blue sapphire surrounded by 14 smaller solitaire diamonds. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle tied the knot at St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle on May 19, 2018. The bride wore a custom Givenchy gown featuring a classic minimalist silhouette with a slight off-the-shoulder style. She also wore a cathedral-length veil held in place by Queen Mary's diamond bandeau tiara, which served as her something borrowed. Similar to her sister-in-law, Kate Middleton, Meghan also paid homage to Diana by including a small blue ribbon sewn into her wedding gown. And the fabric was also significant. Her something blue was a piece of blue fabric from the dress that she wore on her first date with Harry stitched inside her gown.
Oh, that's about the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
For the reception, the bride changed into a gorgeous ivory silk halter-style gown. She donned a few other something blues there, including a huge aquamarine ring that belonged to Princess Diana and satin aquazzurra shoes with blue soles. Just a few months after Meghan and Harry's wedding, Princess Eugenie of York and Jack Brooksbank also tied the knot at Windsor Castle on October 12, 2018. The bride wore a Peter Pilotto and Christopher DeVos ball gown that featured a fold-over, low-back V-neck with long sleeves and a lace overlay. Eugenie opted for a unique twist on her something blue by incorporating subtle hints of blue thistle in her bouquet. The bouquet also included a mix of lily of the valley, Stephanotis pips, ivy, white roses, and sprigs of myrtle, following a royal tradition started by Queen Victoria. But the true standout was her something borrowed, a Greville emerald Kokoshnik tiara borrowed from her grandmother Queen Elizabeth, which also included a pop of colour.
Granny actually knew right at the beginning. She was one of the very few people at the beginning. And
Zara Phillips and Mike Tindall tied the knot in Edinburgh at Canongate Kirk on July 30, 2011. The bride wore a silk Stuart Parvin gown with thick tulle shoulder straps and a full skirt featuring a beautiful cathedral train. For her something borrowed, she wore a diamond tiara that belonged to her mother, Princess Anne, and was once gifted to Queen Elizabeth on her wedding day in 1947. Zara Tindall also broke tradition with a unique take on her something blue, as she had a pale pink manicure and a surprising electric blue pedicure. Her blue painted toes were concealed in her white pointed heels, making her something blue possibly the most creative one on this list. Camilla Parker Bowles and the future King Charles wed in a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall, followed by a marital blessing at St George's Chapel at Windsor Castle on April 9, 2005. This was the second marriage for both of them, so it was more intimate than a typical elaborate royal wedding. And since the Church of England did not approve of remarriages, the Queen, as the head of the church, wasn't in attendance at the wedding. Camilla wore a simple cream gown at the ceremony with a long matching coat paired with an elegant hat in the place of a tiara. Her something blue came into play in a major way when she changed into her second wedding dress for the martial blessing. It was a floor-length grey-blue chiffon gown with a matching coat that had gold accents. Her daughter, Laura Lopez, even wore gold shoes to match the dress. Wallis Simpson married the Duke of Windsor, formerly King Edward VIII, on June 3, 1937. Edward renounced his reign after less than a year on the throne so that he could marry Simpson, who was an American divorcee. On her wedding day, Simpson couldn't wear white as she was remarrying, so she opted for a floor-length powder blue cinch waist gown. To match the dress, she wore a blue halo-shaped straw hat instead of a veil, which may have been the most unconventional something blue in royal wedding history. Alas, that blueness isn't exactly clear in the black and white colour photos of the wedding. The colour of the dress was even named Wallis Blue because the designer, Monbachet, made the colour specifically to match her eyes. As Anne Seber, author of the Simpson biography That Woman, explained, she was very aware of the impression which it would make. She wasn't dressing for the party of the wedding, but for the image, for posterity. If she couldn't be Queen of the United Kingdom, then she wanted to mark out her territory as the Queen of Chic.